Okay, let's start. Hey guys, thanks for coming. As I said, it's probably not the best option for me to start now because this wouldn't be the standard demo, because I wouldn't be showing you what I did in past 2 weeks only, because we see mainly only NHL schedule and results. I will show you what I did in past few weeks, not just 2 weeks, and just for the first time as I'm presenting this, I'd like to put this more into context from what our Power Rangers department is actually working on, what the UX thing means. So first of all, what we actually do in the Power Rangers. We're working on the UX design, as I said earlier, and I would like to clarify for all of you what it means. So from my point of view, it's two main elements. It's the user's needs and the business goals, of course. These two elements need to be defined very well, because the quality of their definition determines the quality of the final design. And we define the user's needs by using the personas or watching the users actually use the product. We can dive into any kind of analytics, into click maps, and any kind of data that will help us. And the business goals, of course, are defined by the product vision, targeting customers, whatever you can think of. Okay, so these two elements are overlapping each other, and somewhere in the middle is the UX thing. So this is like the part we try to solve as well we can, actually. And since we've got this nice shape here in the middle of the screen, I wanted to use it to present you our new emoji on the Slack, which is Boops. And now back to the product. Is this main crucial question: how can we actually improve the product? I bet all of you can name the issues we are coming through. So here are some of them. We can make the product better by making it more consistent, clean, comfortable, reliable. You can name it. We have some issues. I'll describe them and try to show you the solution or some proposals we came up with. Some of them are issues and some of them are real problems that need to be solved. The main issue, and the biggest one probably, is the consistency of the product. I believe that this is the most important part, because it's not just the visual consistency we're talking about, like using a specific color palette, which is the same now with Andrea, Andrea's using, and the typography, which is strict, or the color and size of the button, but also the consistency of the behavior of the product. For example, if you click on a specific type of button, you expect it to do something, and if it does something different in a different Barbie app, the product is no more reliable. And another thing regarding the consistency of the behavior is, for example, destructive actions. That we have some destructive actions in the actual lab, such as, for example, if you open a new case, you cannot undo it, and that shouldn't happen. There should be something to give you more clue what are you doing, and not let you screw things up. So now to the main change we wanted to do is changing the layout a little bit, or maybe the focus of the layout. This is the layout of Brand Embassy as we know it today, and we want to recreate it a little bit, because the focus now here is on the left panel and on the middle, where the posts are synced. And we want to move the focus to the right side, actually, because in the middle you have the posts, and the right side you have the data and information about the specific post you're resolving at the moment. We also got rid of that red top bar, as you may notice, and that's because it was a little bit too distracting for the users, and we need to use the color red, which is very vibrant, for different things, like to for example, notify a user or to give them a clue that something's going wrong, for example. You know, just not a part of the things that shouldn't distract you from working on it. In the context of the inbox of the app, it could look something like this, that you can see like the new view of of the list, which is, I don't know, it's just new. And now I'd like to move to another major thing we've been working on, and it's the main menu. Because now when you're in a specific section of the product, you don't really know where you are, because there is just this little guy, and when you roll over, the menu goes to the right, and you need to remain in this position with the cursor, not to lose the menu, which is uncomfortable and inconsistent, because in different parts of the app it just behaves different. So we would love to do something like this. When you click here, the menu is here, clear, and if we want to add another elements, we can simply do that, because there is a lot of space, or enough space for everything like this. And if you want to do that, you just basically go back, click on the cross. So if I go to the menu, I can fluently go to the settings part, which is another issue we are having in the settings and analyze part, because it's also inconsistent, it's messy, it's hard for the users to set things right and find the data they actually need. So if I go to settings, you can see some idea that came up from your feedback. I was talking to customer service or customer support, Ifcha and Dancha, and they told me that it's hard for users to actually set the things because they don't really know what is set at the moment. So there's this idea of a settings dashboard you can go to. We also reduced the amount of the sections and tried to group them in more logical manner. And here on this dashboard, if I stay here in this part, you can see like summary of the settings you made. You can go to a specific section, for example, and we also can use the space to show new features, for example, as soon as we release them, so they can easily set them up. The same goes for a specific section, for example, including workflow. Yeah, it's just the consistency thing. Everything was the same. The hierarchy of the fonts is clear, and you just know where you are. I'm not really sure what the next slide is about, but I believe it's the native views. Yeah, the post detail of Facebook post detail is still pretty messy, as you can see, unfortunately, but because we need to display many things here, many action buttons, many action elements, and the text and other information, for example, of the assignee and the cases. But we wanted to make it as clean as possible, obviously. And if I go to a specific comment, we just want to divide it into two parts visually. So here on the left side is the content of the comment with a name here and the timestamp and the content or the message. And here is space for the action elements. We also reduced the number of tags here because we didn't see any agent to use more than like 3 tags at once, and it becomes also very distracting when you have like 30 automatic tags here in one comment. So we opted for this option to reduce the noise here in the comment. Yeah.
Is there any still like the functionality for marking as read or checked or resolved?
Yeah, we are working on it hard, of course. This is just a proposal. We wanted to hide it here, and it should be on the rollover effect in this design. But of course, this is anything of this or what you've seen so far and what you will see is not like a definite or final design. Of course, I need also all of you to help me define this, what people want to use. Another thing is that now we have unified all post details there's a same view for Facebook post, for chat, for email, which doesn't really make sense to have a Facebook post look like chat, or maybe chat look like Facebook post, and Facebook post look like email, which is maybe a little uncomfortable for the user. And now, if chat or direct message looks like chat, and users are used to it from the native apps, it may be more clear for them when they are and what kind of post they are resolving. Same goes for email, where again it's the same as in your email client, and also the reply box, for example, for this type of post is rather uncomfortable. So now you should be able to send email in a view like this. So this should help you, or might help you, I hope. The last thing maybe is, this is actually agent's profile as an example of a design which is not like planned to be used. So we are also working on things that maybe won't make it to the production, but this was the idea of a KPI dashboard of the agent that is signed here. Here is signed Walter, so it's Walter's KPI dashboard, and he can see his performance. He can see like head-to-head with team, how he's doing in terms of fulfilling SLAs, and we're also trying to add some, I don't know, gamification part to the app, which will help the users like use the app more, or they like it more when using the app, and they create some kind of relationship with that. The last thing is the actual use case I was resolving in this past 2 weeks, and this was this user scenario when agent is having a chat with the customer, and the customer sends some confidential data that shouldn't be like in our database or logs. For example, credit card number is a typical example. So if the system doesn't recognize it and automatically cross it out, the number gets underlined, and the user should or is supposed to mark it as a confidential, and once he does it, the number is not legible anymore, and he got this message that it was deleted from the system and all logs.
And that's only the system, that's not on social?
This is in live chat.
Ah, got it.
Because when he sends some confidential data, it shouldn't be stored anywhere.
Okay, this isn't social.
But
Yeah.
that counts for the social too, actually.
Yeah.
So it's given by the US law that if you work with some customer data, you need to like hide the personal data, like social security number, credit card, and sometimes also like IP address. So basically, once it's required by the client, you need to like fulfill it for all the data, not just for live chat, but for social, email, etc.
Yeah, as I said, the system should recognize the number, but if it happens that it doesn't, you should do it manually. Oh, sorry.
Is it any number, or it has to be this format? It could be like, as Damian said.
If it's in the right format, the system will recognize it. If it's in the right format, the system will recognize it. For example, in this particular case, it should recognize with the slashes, with dashes, with spaces. It should be recognized,
So
but
there will be some default right formats.
yeah.
Defined.
And for example, it can happen that you can underline a number that is not confidential. So in that case, there is no need to do that, but there need to be the option for it. Yeah. So that's all from me, or from our Power Rangers team, which actually includes only me. And yeah, I would love to include you more in the design process, because all of you have really valuable feedback. I was talking to some of you, and it's really helped me to define more what the users want and what are the real needs. So yeah, I hope you will see more in 2 weeks from what comes from your feedback. Yeah.
I have just one question about that private number.
Yeah. Should I get it back?
Is then possible to do it in backwards, for example, for case which was created 2 weeks ago, or just online?
Actually,
because it's actually
yeah.
impossible to hide it from backups, so we cannot do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically the data flow should be that this kind of process is at the very beginning when the data are entering the system. So before actually how it works, and for example Zendesk has this integrated in their product, that actually before you write the data anywhere into the storage, you need to like rewrite it.
Yeah, but what about then some user will want to mark it few days after? we
Yeah.
send it.
Yeah,
So
Zendesk
basically-
doesn't do that actually.
Basically, then you are like obliged to delete it from logs too. But as far as I know, nobody does it.
Impossible.
Actually. It is, but it's
It's
Fucking
not
hard.
away from backup.
And what happens on, so I'm on Facebook and I post a public comment with my credit card details.
Yeah.
It comes into Brand Embassy auto blocks it. What happens on Facebook?
It's
To protect the customer. It's still
it's
there.
still there.
Not
yeah.
connected at all.
Yeah.
We
Basically,
just have to reply, "Hi John, please don't share your credit card details."
Yeah.
Or they have to manually, they have to go to Facebook native platform,
And
be
delete
logged
it.
in, be an admin, and delete it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, maybe it's only for our safety that we don't store these data.
Right. Not
Could be
for the
stolen from
customers.
us.
The customer's still not safe
yeah.
because they're the idiot
Yeah.
who went public.
Sure.
Right.
Great job,
Okay.
man.
That's it from me.
Yeah, internet is not working, so I can present right now.
Alright, we'll just watch this.
What's the green color, man?
Yeah, of course.
Because that was like awesome what you just presented. Do you know
Okay, sure.
any kind of like idea how far is it
When?
to get it to reality? Yeah, I didn't want to use this word because Damian loves it too much. But where is the deadline? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know personally, but I hope some of the main changes, the visual changes, are we are able to do them pretty quickly. I don't know if it's like what quickly means in terms of, I would say weeks, because we just need to just
Oh,
to
just to
recolor
spell on it,
recolor the stuff will help a lot. Unify the interface in terms of typography, because those are details, but it helps a lot actually.
I think so.
And from the usability point of view, I think we can go there, get there step by step. For example, with the menu or the settings part.
And is it about like the overall the overall changeable tier or 6 months
No,
or?
no, no. Like what we have to figure out,
Yeah.
and we've been talking with Damien, so this whole things needs to be for sure cut in smaller pieces, as Albert said. So first you can see just the change in colors, but then you'll probably see the visual design changes. And we are now trying to find
Is
the
it see enough?
capacity, so the
Yeah.
team has the capacity to do the changes. So as soon as possible in our view, it is in as a priority. It's just not anywhere written or but we wanted to.
Yeah,
It's
of
not
course.
just our situation.
Thanks. And last but not least, when it comes to the new design,
Mhm.
would be possible to, will our current customers be capable to change it once they are ready for that, or it will be just change for all of them on one shot?
So previously what we did, and probably we want to keep the model, is that we had beta testers that we send it to, so we can
Yeah.
switch it on, switch it off,
Okay.
right? So we can test it, we can define it again, refine it a little bit, and then as we are sure about the design, we can roll it out to
Exactly.
everyone.
Yeah, the onboarding to the new version should be smooth as much as possible, of course.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, and also Albert already like I think this is like super impressive. I think that if the clients are gonna see it,
Yes.
it's gonna be really good.
We need
Like
to
compared to the market, I think.
validate everything again and again
Yeah.
and again.
We can maybe help with that, like,
Of course,
present
of course.
to some of the customers or prospects what can be done if they agree with that or they like it.
I would actually do some clickable prototypes for you, because when we are solving some problem, there are usually more options than one. So just to test it within the team would help us a lot. So
Just because of time, can we leave more
Sorry.
yeah, I'm sorry.
questions to them? Go ahead.
Okay, ready? So, hi guys, I'm here for the Team Aglis, and I would like to show you what we have done in the last 4 weeks. So, our main goal is to deliver or to create the new live chat solution. would like to show you different between old and new in a very simple way. So I think it could be understandable. What is the advantage of the new solution? Then we go to the live chat demo, and at the end it will be BDD test demo by Lukáš. So what's the difference between old and new? This is the architecture of the old chat. It's not necessary that you understand everything. You just see chat window and B frontend. But for example, brand ambassador frontend and chat window. But for example, when a customer wants to send a message, it goes to the chat server, to the B backend, and then to the, our frontend. And then when agent is replying, it goes to the B backend, to the MQ, to the chat server, and then to the customer chat window. And as the bonus, when the chat window want to request for the online offline status, it goes like this. So yeah, what the fuck? That was our main problem. So what's new? What we've done is that we create a new WebSocket server, new chat API server, new chat window, new front-end chat interface, new backend framework for communicating with chat API server, and the BDD test. I will now show you what it was. Okay,
What's
so
the BDD?
BDD is
I'll
behavior.
talk about that.
Yep, he will be talking about.
And what is MQ?
MQ is the RabbitMQ. It's like Q. Simple, it's Q. When the server is not enough performance, so it's going to the. It's not necessary to know what it is. So this is what we created, and this is our new architecture. So when the customer sends the message, it goes straight to the WebSocket server, and it's delivered to the brand ambassador frontend. And it's also applied for our agent. When she is replying, it goes to the WebSocket and then straight to the chat window. So it's instant and it's in speed and reliable. And also with optional request to the API server, which it communicates with our backend and asking for additional information like agent name and position, or when we are saving messages and reloading messages from the session and so on. So this is our new clean and simple architecture for our new live chat solution, as you can see. And now I would like to show. Before what I show you what we've done, it's what the advantage is also the speed, the performance, the stability, the scalability in the future, and also the maintainability. So there's also one plus thing that when we are going to develop some new features in the future, it will be easy, it will be fast, and it should be stable. So now let's go our chat demo. Yeah, this is our brand embassy. Oh yeah. So as you can see, here is the chat window, and here is our engager. For now, what we've done is that the connection is working. What you see on the architecture is prepared as it is. And now, what we can do is that when agent set the offline status, you can see that chat is instantly set as offline, online, and so on.
Fake!
Fake! I know.
And that's all.
Thank you very much. That's all. See you when you do it. So we also made the whole UI for our chat window by using the new technology. It's not necessary to know, but also you can see the offline chat is not working right now. But when we change it for the online, now you can start the chat. You can type your name, and now you can chatting with Daniela Nekonečná, šéfka konečností. Takže for now you can write messages. This is working, but it only goes to the WebSocket server as I showed before, is the middle one, and not going to the brand embassy frontend, which is our next goal, that in the 2 weeks we should communicate with each other. So from frontend to the brand, to the chat window. I know. So that's our our thing we done and what we are planning for the next sprint. And now Luca will show you the new greedy test.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Which part do you store the data?
And when?
When?
Which part store the data?
In which part of the process do you store data?
Yeah.
When?
No.
I was thinking it would be interesting for you, maybe, you know, like.
Maybe not.
Yeah, this one you mean?
Yep.
Yeah, the API server is communicating with backend.
You
And-
said it's optional, so.
So
No.
every message is sent to
Okay,
front end and to officer.
Okay, not calling it the optional request. It's a request to the API server, and the persistent layout layer is the API server to the Brevasi backend. So API is communicating with backend and asking for information or saving the data.
Cool. And what's the technology between like these?
Yep. Okay. You want to see it right now?
Just
Okay.
just
The
say-
technology you mean?
Yeah, I mean like the API server, the WebSocket server.
Yeah. API and WebSocket server is right by Node.
Yeah.
Node.js. We are using Socket.io for WebSockets. The chat window is React with Redux. Frontend is React with Flux, and the backend is backend right now. But what is new is the new framework, which new framework by you can communicate with chat API server, with the API server. So that's also new. So it should be also better to deliver in the future.
Very nice.
Part of the uglies. I don't know who the
The
uglies
part
are.
the ugliest is the front end team. We are now also the backend team because server is backend. So it's Jarda, Intra, Lukáš as the tester, and me.
Michal.
And now, sorry. From today, it's official. The Michal Brauner is the new member of the uglies.
Yeah, just partially.
Yeah.
I'm just drawing the rectangles.
They don't know.
Uglies, Power Rangers, and uglies. So, join them.
Yep. Do you have some questions related to like
Any other question?
Like 1,000, but
Yeah, online, offline is good.
You can run it.
something?
Now we can.
That's why that's why I want to show you the
gonna do
architecture
magic now,
beside.
how much?
I was expecting this.
I will do you.
Dlačo, to je fakt, to by vyřešilo co, že?
Sorry, ale vím, a čau. Please leave us a message.
Okay, what the hell is wrong?
Peťo, víš, co třeba někdo ještě přepnul zdroj? Nebo...
Ne,
to asi.
What the hell?
Zkus to znovu vytáhnout, zatáhnout.
Máš to
Přesahoj ten
Nechal si otevřený dveře, když jsi šel. Myslím, že ty vás kouknu.
Tady už nikdo není.
Jo, to je hrozný.
Hej, tak nechceš to pustit od Petra? Máš to
To
máš.
nepustím od Petra. Čím se vybírá ten?
Počkej, ale...
Yeah. Just got home at like 1 a.m.
Okay, I'm sorry.